Welcome, adventurers, to the Dangers and Dragons podcast.
Ooh, I like that.
It's a little different from our usual fire-breathing fare, I know, but this week's story, Battlefield, as you called it, it really got me thinking.
Yeah, Battlefield is right.
It's about ambition and those moments where life throws you a curveball and you have to decide, which path to take and what happens to the people you leave behind.
Exactly. It's not dragons or dungeons, but the stakes, they feel just as high. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And this story, it's all about the art world.
Oh, so much drama there.
But honestly, it's something anyone who's ever chased a dream or had to make a tough choice can relate to. It really digs into that.
I was hooked from the first page, honestly. The way the story describes these two artists, Maya and the narrator, and their creative process, it's like you're right there in the studio with them.
Yeah, it's super vivid, right? Like paint splatters, bold colors, the giddy rush, those lines, they just jump off the page.
Totally. And what's fascinating is how they each approach their art. You know, Maya, she's all about the light, the big, bold strokes, the explosion of color.
Right. But the narrator, they're drawn to the shadows, the subtle details, the things that kind of ground the whole piece.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Their differences, they don't clash.
Yeah.
Instead, they, create this synergy.
Yeah. The story actually says, and I love this line, they stumbled onto a pulse no single stroke could capture.
Oh, that's so true. It makes you wonder about those partnerships where you have two people who bring such different strengths to the table.
Right, and what they can achieve together that neither could alone.
And of course, that kind of raw talent, it doesn't go unnoticed.
Enter the art critic, right. The story describes her with this, practiced eye and predator's smile.
Oh, she's such a fascinating character. She swoops in and immediately recognizes, well, maybe not immediately, but eventually she spots this potential in Maya. And then goes the scholarship offer. Paris, the city of lights.
A dream come true, right? Except there's a catch.
Oh, a huge one. Only one spot, one of them gets to go, the other. While they stay behind.
And that's where everything changes. Suddenly, this shared dream becomes a point of division. It's no longer about what they can create together, but about who gets to chase their individual ambitions.
It's like that scholarship. It throws a spotlight on the differences that were always there, but maybe they didn't fully acknowledge them before.
And the narrator, the reaction to it all is so interesting. They see Maya as the obvious choice. She's got the spark, the explosion, while they describe themselves as the steady hand, someone whose art is more about echoes, not shouts.
Almost like they've already accepted a secondary role in this partnership. Like they've convinced themselves that Maya's the real star.
Yeah, it's like they're putting Maya's dreams ahead of their own. But then you get to the gallery opening scene, and oh man, the tension is so thick you could cut it with a palette knife.
You can just feel the narrator's conflicted emotions. On the surface, they're happy for Maya, but underneath, there's this gnawing envy.
It's like the story says, the gallery is a battlefield. And those champagne bubbles, the narrator describes them as feeling like unshed tears. That imagery is so powerful.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. And then you've got Maya searching the crowd, looking for the narrator. She needs their approval, their presence, even amidst all this success.
And that's when the art critic, she steps back into the picture. But this time, her attention isn't on Maya, it's on the narrator.
Oh, this part.
Yeah.
So pivotal. She calls the narrator the grounding energy, the force that anchors Maya's brilliance.
Right. And then she offers them that apprenticeship, not in Paris, not creating bold original art, but in restoration. Preserving beauty you could never create, she says.
Such a loaded statement. On the one hand, it's a legitimate career path, a way for the narrator to hone their skills. But on the other hand, it feels like she's boxing them in,
Right.
reinforcing that idea that they're not the star, that they're meant to support, not shine.
It's like she's saying, you're good, but not that good.
Exactly. And the narrator, they just accept it. It's like they've internalized that message.
And then comes the packing for Paris. No big fight, no dramatic confrontation, just this frantic energy that masked the unspoken.
They're both holding back, aware that this trip, it's more than just a physical journey. It's a test of their relationship, their dreams, everything.
Paris becomes this symbol, this test, fiercer than any paint could express.
And as Maya throws herself into the Parisian art scene, her life becomes this whirlwind of color and energy. A technicolor life, the story calls it.
Meanwhile, the narrator is left behind, trying to capture their own experiences in reply sketches that feel like pale imitations of Maya's work.
It's like their creative spark. It's dimmed without that shared energy, that back and forth they had.
And the apprenticeship, it offers a kind of structure, a routine. But when the acceptance letter arrives, the narrator describes it as something that suited me in a bleak sort of way.
That phrase, bleak sort of way, it really gets to me. It speaks volumes about how their dreams have shifted, how they've maybe settled for something less than they originally envisioned.
Fast forward years later, and Maya returns. She's achieved success, but she's changed. The story describes her as a half-finished masterpiece, someone who's gained the world but maybe lost a part of herself along the way.
There's a sadness there, isn't there? Like a hungry glean that's never quite satisfied.
And it's such a contrast to the narrator, who's created this quiet life for themselves. Their studio is subdued, but there's a hum of contentment there.
The reunion, it's full of those awkward silences, those hesitant confessions about their lives, the lovers they've had, the paths they've taken.
And even their hands, the story points out, they still bear the marks of paint, a physical reminder of their shared past.
Like a permanent stain, even though their lives have taken such different turns.
But this time, when Maya leaves, there are no tears. It's just an exhale, a sense of closure.
And she leaves behind a gift, a worn brush, and an unfinished sketch.
Not an apology, but an acknowledgement, the narrator realizes, like a recognition of what they once had and how it shaped them both.
It's a beautiful moment.
And it leads the narrator to this realization that the scholarship, the apprenticeship, they were shackles to different kinds of loneliness.
It's like they both found themselves trapped, just in different ways.
Maya, she needed that blaze, that fierce independence to fuel her art.
And the narrator, they needed something else, something quieter, more grounded.
And the story ends with that image of the unfinished canvas in the narrator's studio. It represents all those possibilities, those what-ifs that never came to be.
But instead of clinging to those what-ifs, the narrator starts painting over them, using muted colors and echoes of laughter.
They're choosing to create something new, something that reflects the life they've built, a life filled with quiet satisfaction, even if it's not the life they once imagined.
Wow, that's really something. It makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. It makes you think about all those choices we make in life and how they ripple outward, affecting not just ourselves, but the people we love.
And about the different ways we define success. Maya, she chased the spotlight, the acclaim. The narrator, they found fulfillment in something quieter, more personal.
It makes you wonder what's more important, the grand gesture, the bold stroke, or the quiet act of creation, the careful preservation of beauty.
And what about that art critic? Was she just an observer? Or did she play a role in shaping their destinies? Was it her validation that pushed Maya towards Paris and the narrator towards restoration?
So many questions, right? And this story, it doesn't offer any easy answers, but it definitely makes you think about the nature of ambition, of sacrifice, of those moments when we have to choose between our own dreams and the people we care about.
And about whether it's possible to truly support someone else's brilliance without, in some way, dimming our own light.
It's a powerful story, and I think it speaks to something universal about the human experience.
I completely agree. And I love how it leaves you with that lingering question. Can a life lived outside the spotlight still be a masterpiece?
That's a great question to ponder. And on that note, we'll wrap up this week's episode.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us on the Dangers and Dragons podcast. We'll be back next week with another adventure. Make sure to rate and follow us so you don't miss out.